Everyone, Lips here, back with the Valentine's event video. This year is different. Normally you can just click the NPC and access the shop. However, this year you have to finish this NPC's quest. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. Okay, so if we click the NPC here, it says, would you like to unlock the festival rewards? So we will. And the first thing we do is have to get an axe, which we already have, and we have to cut a tree from Essia, 30 of them to be specific. You can go either left or right from the town here in order to cut them. Okay, so we're just about to cut our last tree here, and then we're going to move on to step 2. Alright, so now we need to cut 30 Essia grass, which is just the bushes around here. Okay, and that is our last Essia grass, as they call it. Let's go back to the NPC. Now it looks like we want 30 Valentine's cakes, so in order to get the cakes, you have to click Maggie here, and then accept. Okay, so this is the Valentine Forest. These cakes have been updated since last year. They now drop these instead for the event stuff. We also get a new potion from them, plus 30%. I'm guessing that's plus 30% of your max, which means that the max buff items are actually better now. Festival tickets seem to drop pretty often. We got this book last year, but it got a name change, but we got a new one this year, SPR2, so that's kind of nice. Last year I got 2 of them, so they seem to drop pretty rarely. But I know a couple people this year have already got quite a few of them. And if you're grinding for any of the quest stuff, you will most likely end up getting one of these, so that's pretty nice. Alright, so we're done with the cake part. And that is it for the shop quest, so pretty easy to get the shop. So as you can see here, once we do that, we can have access to all the shop stuff, and access to the candles is held off for now until you do Maggie's quest. Okay, so we're going to do Maggie's quest now. The only downside to her quest, you have to be level 30 in order to reach Blafon. So if we click her, go to quest. And I say Blafon because this says level 20 for her, but at the very end of the quest, you end up having to go to Blafon, which you can't reach until you have a golden key. So it doesn't make much sense for this to be level 20. I don't know why that is the case. Okay, so the first step is simple, just like Reggie's first step. You got to cut 30 Essia tree. So once you have the 30 tree down, it'll complete the quest for you. You don't have to actually go back and click her. So now she asks for 30 apple, which fall from the same trees you're cutting. So you will have to click her once you complete the apples, but now we're on to chocolate cake. We need 20 of them. This one might take a little while. You should have the recipe already, but in order to make this, you have to make bread out of wheat, and then you have to make chocolate out of this item, which you can find to the left of this map. This enemy right here drops them. Okay, so the next step is to catch 20 firefly and put them in a bottle. In order to do that, you need the recipe, you need the butterfly net, and you need a bottle. So the butterfly net is at Ruffo here in Essia Blacksmith. Click Forge, and then the buy button here. Not too bad to make it. In order to get the bottle and recipe, you need to come out here to the artisan shop. Once you're here, the bottle is on this side with him, shop, and etc. And then shop and recipes, and right here is the firefly in a bottle. The best spot in order to get the firefly, if you go to the ancient bridge up here, there's a little cave entrance. So go inside. You can ignore these ones for now, but just go to the bottom here, and I think one of my friends is actually online here doing it. But there's 10 of them in this area. They respawn pretty quick. In order to get the firefly recipe, the firefly in a bottle recipe, you actually need 10 of the fireflies in order to get it. Okay, so these next steps are pretty simple. You have to talk to a few NPCs, but again, you need to have the golden key in order to talk to the first NPC. Once you're in Golem, if you just follow all the way up, the NPC is located right up here. In order to talk to her, you have to either click her, or you can click the space button while you're up here. Okay, and then this NPC is located in Tarion, so if you don't have that warp yet, you have to walk from Golem left twice, up, and then right, and the NPC is located right next to the thing in here. Alright, here's this NPC, so we'll talk to her. Next, you have to go all the way to Blafon in order to talk to this guy. Once you do, be careful because they will spawn enemies right after you talk to him. But in order to reach Blafon, you have to go left from Tarion, left one more time, down, and then there's a little house here that you enter, and the NPC is right in there. Okay, here's the Blafon NPC. Click on him. Accept. So as soon as you go out of here, I think is when the NPCs spawn. Let's see. Yep. Not the NPCs, but the these little ratas here, as Pat would say. But anyways, so you can't leave this area until you defeat 100 of them. Also, another thing too, it seems like the card is pretty easy to get for this, the monster card, but I would just make sure that you have it before you leave here, because once you defeat these and you leave, you can't come back and do this again. Blafon will change back to normal. Alright, then once you get done with that, just come over here to Maggie, and you'll respawn back in Blafon with the Blafon as normal. If you stick around too long at the other map, the enemies can see you from pretty much anywhere, so they will kill you. So the last step is to talk to Buffy, and in order to reach him, he's on the map that's left of Essia City, right here in the corner. So click him, we get an achievement, we get some pretty good experience for most of it, all things considered, and we get this really cool item called the Friendship Box. What this allows you to do is to send this friendship ring to a player of your choice, which will also give you the achievement. So for instance, they have to be on your friends list too, so they have to be online and in your friends list in order to receive it. Okay, so this is actually the ring that you get from the event. It's really nice for level 20, 3 slots, and it has skull loot on it, which I forgot to mention in the last video. I thought that the Power Magic and Stalker Ring were the only ones that had it, but it turns out this does too. Alright, so once you complete this quest, you can now unlock the option of candles at Reggie's store here in order to make some of the equipment, and the cherry cake hat, which is just a premium item. There's no stats to it. If you click on Maggie, you can access the forest with all the cakes in it, and you can look at the backstory. Also wanted to go over some of the stuff we didn't go over last time in the other video, and that is the 2 master cards here from this event. Sandy and Buffy were last year, but they've also been added. We went over those in the last video. But again, this is continuing the trend of the healing plus damage. So pretty nice. I like to see these sometime. The non-event type of card with the specials added to it. Maybe at the cemetery NPC. Also, I don't think we went over the bouquets last time. These are really nice for level 30, and you only need the flowers in order to get them. With these, and unfortunately, you need the candles, so you need to be over level 30 in order to get them. Same with the necklaces and the rings. I think we went over the necklaces last time, but I don't think we went over the rings. So these are pretty nice for their level, especially the level 60 ones. They're pretty comparable to Memphis, except for the Memphis rings have critical damage. And then, of course, pins for this year, pretty easy to get, just 100 Valentine cake pulp, which drops from the Valentine cakes. So overall, pretty nice event. I kind of wish that this wasn't locked behind level 30, but it is what it is. And until then, we'll see you in the next video.